الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وتولى عنهم وقال يا أسفا على يوسف وابيضت عيناه من الحزن فهو كظيم قالوا تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين قال إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون يا بني يذهبوا فتحسسوا من يوسف وأخيه ولا تيأسوا من روح الله إنه لا ييأس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون فلما دخلوا عليه قالوا يا أيها العزيز مسنا وأهلنا الضر وجئنا ببضاعة مزجاة فأوف لنا الكيل وتصدق علينا إن الله يجزي المتصدقين قال هل علمتم ما فعلتم بيوسف وأخيه إذ أنتم جاهلون قالوا أئنك لأنت يوسف قال أنا يوسف وهذا أخي قد من الله علينا إنه من يتق ويصبر فإن الله لا يضيع أجر المحسنين صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Yousuf, almost the last concluding part of the story, where these brothers returned to Hazrat Yaqub ala Nabiyina salatu wasalam, their father, and told him that your second beloved son, Binyamin, has also been, we have lost him, or they've not been able to bring him back because the Aziz, the finance minister, has kept him because he committed theft apparently. Hazrat Yaqub ala Nabiyina salatu wasalam, he turned away from them and said, he said, وَقَالَ يَا أَسَفَا عَلَى Yusuf. These are the words that came out of his mouth. This is a dua that he made to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he's saying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Ya Allah, how sad I am about my son Yusuf. Hazrat ulama have written that this is kind of like how our ummah is commanded to say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, in any calamity when it befalls upon us. And ulama have written that this sentence, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, which means that we are for Allah and to Him we are going to return, to go back. This is a specialty of the ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A much better sentence has been given to this ummah. But Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, he said that, how sad I am, oh Allah, how sad I am about my son Yusuf. وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that his eyes became white. So ulama have written that he cried with sorrow. For some ulama have written for 40 years, and some ulama have said that he cried for 80 years. For Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, and his eyesight became very weak or was totally gone. وَبْيَضَّتْ عَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْحُزْنِ فَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. And he entered that state of grief and sorrow where he would not even say it to anybody, and he was holding himself and he was becoming constricted and holding it within himself, and this sorrow was inside him. He was keeping it to himself. قالوا, the sons said, تالله تفتأ تذكر يوسف حتى تكون حرضا أو تكون من الهالكين. They said that by Allah, you will not stop remembering Yusuf until you collapse or perish. So what they were saying is that grief and sorrow becomes less with time, but your sorrow is not decreasing. 40 years, 80 years, you are still remembering him like you remembered the first day, and you are going to keep remembering him until you push yourself to your own death, towards your death, or become very weak. قال, Hazrat Yaqub said, إنما أشكو بثي وحزني إلى الله. I am not complaining, and I am not raising my sorrow to anyone except Allah. وَأَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. And I know from Allah what you do not know. So Yaqub had some signs, some hopes, and one of them we already know, that Hazrat Yusuf salam, when he was with his father, he had seen a dream where he had seen stars and the moon and the sun doing sajda to him. So Yaqub had this dream in mind, and he knew that there's going to be a time when this dream is yet to be fulfilled. So there will be a time when this would happen, and he knew that some good time is going to come. Ya bani, he said, O my sons, idhabu fatahassasu min Yusuf, go and search for Yusuf wa akhi, and his brother. Now the thing comes to mind that Yaqub ﷺ did not know where Yusuf ﷺ was, but he said, go and search for both the brothers, him and his brother. وَلَا تَيْأَسُوا مِنْ رَوْحِ اللَّهِ, and do not despair, do not lose hope in the mercy of Allah. إِنَّهُ لَا يَيْأَسُ مِنْ رَوْحِ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Only the infidels, nobody loses hope in Allah's mercy except the kuffar, except the infidels. So Yaqub, it is by the command of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ has also said that when Allah intends for something to happen, when Allah decides that something has to happen, then Allah provides and creates and puts in line, orders and aligns everything for it. The means start happening. So Yaqub and Yusuf ﷺ, they were very close when Yusuf was put in the well, a few miles away. But it did not occur to Yaqub to go and search for him there. And now it is just coming in his mind. He is telling his sons to go to Egypt and look for both the brothers together there. So this is the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the other thing he has said is, إِنَّهُ لَا يَيْأَسُ مِنْ رَوْحِ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Those who despair in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only the kuffar, only who are infidels, who are non-believers, they turn away from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, lose their hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everybody should place their trust and hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do their best and expect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show His mercy to them. فَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا عَلَيْهِ. So these brothers, they went to Egypt and they went to the Aziz, the finance minister again. قالوا, and said, Ya ayyuhal Aziz, O finance minister, Massana wa ahlana dhur. Us and our family, they have been struck by distress. So we have run out of our rations, we have run out of our provisions, our food. وَجِئْنَا بِبِضَاعَةٍ مُزْجَاةٍ. And we are in such a poor state that we have brought some goods as a price that are of very little value. فَأَوْفِي لَنَا الْكَيْلِ. But we request you to give us the full measure of grain. So the way was that they would bring something as cost, but this time they came and they said, we didn't even have anything proper to give you as a cost for what you're giving to us, the grain, but we are giving you something very less valuable, you give us the full measure. وَتَصَدَّقْ عَلَيْنَا. Basically they were asking for charity. Give us by your grace with your charity. Be charitable to us. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَجْزِي الْمُتَصَدِّقِينَ. Allah rewards the charitable people. Allama Qurtubi rahmatullahi alayhi has written that Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam, when he sent these sons to go back to Egypt, he had also written a letter, a note to the Aziz of Misr, the finance minister of Misr, and he has said, he had addressed him, the Aziz, and he had introduced himself as Yaqub ibn Ishaq ibn Ibrahim. So he had mentioned that I am the son of these prophets, and he said that I have been tried and tested. I have been tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My progeny, my ancestors have been tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My grandfather Ibrahim was tested by being put in the fire of Namrud, and I have been tested by losing one of my sons, my dear sons, when he was very little, and the second son I was tested again when you kept my other son Binyamin with you, because you thought that he has committed a crime or a theft, and we are the children of Anbiya and we never commit theft, we never sin. We are not such kind of people. So it's Imam Qurtubi rahmatullahi alayhi has written that when Yusuf alayhi got this letter from his father, he started crying, and from Allah he knew that now is the time that our reunion is going to happen. So when he got the sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he started to introduce and tell the people that tell them that I am the real Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And the way he started it was, قَالَ Had Yusuf said, Hal alimtum ma fa'altum bi Yusuf wa akhi? Do you know what you did to Yusuf and his brother? Wa idha antum jahilun, when you were ignorant people. Allahu Akbar. So the brothers, they were taken off their feet. They were very surprised that what is the connection of Aziz and what we did there in the jungle with Yusuf. How does he know about it? But when they thought about it and when they looked at the Aziz closely, they somewhat recognized that this person may be our brother Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. So they said, Qalu a'innaka la anta Yusuf. They said, is it that you are in fact Yusuf? Qala ana Yusuf. Had Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam said, yes, I am Yusuf. Wa hadha akhi, and this is my brother Binyamin. Qad manna Allahu alayna. Imagine the words, think that the words that are coming out of the mouth of this person who has gone through so much. He was taken away from his father. His mother had died when he was young. He was taken away from his father. He was put in a well. He was taken out by a caravan, made a slave, sold a slave. Then he was accused by people of a crime. Then he was put in jail, and then he was given the kingdom. But still he was very far away from his father and his family by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he knows that all of this is going to be over, what is he saying? قَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْنَا. Allah has done grace. Allah has been very kind to us. And this is the way a believer should be. That even when they go through whatever, when the good times come, they should not remember the bad times. They should only remember the mercy and the grace and the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّهُ مَن يَتَّقِ وَيَصْبِرْ. So Hazrat Hakim al-Mawd has written that what was the favor that they are talking about that Allah did to them. إِنَّهُ مَن يَتَّقِ وَيَصْبِرْ. Allah gave us taqwa and Allah gave us sabr. Allah gave us His realization, and Allah gave us patience over what was coming. And also Allah turned our weakness into strength, our lack of status into a high status, and our lack of means into a lot of means. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. For this is how Allah is. This is what Allah is. This is how Allah's ways are, that Allah never lets the reward of the good doers go to waste. So the reward of the muhsinin is never wasted. Get that I want. 5 minutes? 12 minutes. ठीक है, इंशाल्लाह we'll continue with this conversation tomorrow इंशाल्लाह. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذي أهلك خاصتك. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.